Here is a few sharing to help to enhance prenatal and birthing experience. First of all, what is so important according to the last research we have about pregnancy, birthing, is the quality of your health. Of course, this is really common sense. But for that, we have to develop certain skills to have a family, to live in couple, of course, and to be able to meet the needs of the concept of epigenetics. We know that the quality of the pregnancy will determine, or at least influence a lot, what we call the primal health on our children. And so, of course, the relationship of ourselves, with the world, with our partner, is very determinant in terms of quality of health, physically, emotionally, mentally, for your children. So for that, we have to come back to the root. And the first step is effectively to think about your health. And the health, we know that is not just physical, it's emotional, mental, spiritual. And so to meet the needs to meet the needs of being ready to be parent, we have first to become someone who is able to care, and to care of our life, to care of our partner. And this caring can be developed by our relationship with nature. Nature is one of the best educators, one of the first method to apply to prepare ourselves to having a children. So taking care of a garden, of flowers, of a dog, a cat, where we develop the best skill to be a caregiver, to be someone who develop the attention of another being. And it seems to be so common sense, but sadly we are in a situation where our society has developed the concept of assistance, the assistance for everything, assistance of birth, assistance of health assistance for income, for everything. So we have developed countries where the concept of assistance has become more important than the concept of loving. And the love is not something so complicated. Of course, it has thousands of degrees, but the first thing is just to care of life. And so the life is in ourselves and the life around us. So the moment you are thinking that your life is important and you want to do the good for yourself and for your partner and for the people around, you get out of the concept of assistance. You become responsible. You become responsible of your life and the life that you are going to prepare to come on this world. So for me, this is the first step to be in this preparation of prenatal education. But this is the first step of prenatal education, and to prepare yourself for birthing. So in this step, there is a few things to consider. First, to prepare yourself, as said first, and to prepare yourself is to have physical activities like walking in nature. Walking in nature is something that develops the most your breathing, your blood flow, and the walk is probably one of the best activity to prepare yourself to be connected with life, nature, and yourself, and so on, to prepare yourself to connect better with your partner and your children. Secondly, of course, the food. Chemical is very important. In epigenetic, we know there is 5 factors. The first is chemical. Chemical means that the food you put on your body, and of course the air, the quality of air, and everything you put on your body. If you got synthetic clothes, or if you have cotton or wool or other natural materials, this is important because we breathe with our skin. So the quality of air, do you go in nature enough to have fresh air? Do you breathe deeply with your diaphragm? All these kind of things count a lot and can make a difference for your children, because you have an oxygenated body, you have a body who have diaphragm. We have the diaphragm, but we have other pump in the body, in the pelvic floor, in the knees, in on our shoulders, on our brain. And so when you walk and you move, you develop this pump that will assure you a better blood flow for your baby. So that's for the physical aspect. And of course, to be in an environment where you don't use sprays and all these scents that could be very aggressive for your brain, and for there are synthetics, to avoid to have a spray food, and to try to invest, if there is an investment to make in terms of money, is on the quality of food for sure. Eventually, if you're in city and you have polluted air, think to buy an air purifier is just to maintain you in a more healthy environment that you can. That's the first aspect. The second aspect is about managing your stress, and that the second aspect of epigenetics. So the management of your stress go with first a method so simple called nonviolent communication. The nonviolent communication is a step in 4. It's a very square method that functions so well. Each time there is tension and conflict that you will have with people around you and with your partner eventually, or your family, it is the first reason of the highest stress for human. So it's so important to master this method. This method is about, let's say before this method, I will put the attitude to always looking to do the good. When you have this attitude of doing the good, most of problems are solved, because first you try to resolve, you try to harmonize yourself, and you try to see the good behind intention or verbs that people use around you. Lots of people don't know how to express their feelings, so they're clumsy, and taking things personal is not a good attitude. When you talk about good, everybody knows what is the good. Is to take on yourself, to have a good attitude, to excuse, to see what was the best intention behind something, to see if someone is suffering that express through aggressivity. All these kind of things give you patience. It allow you to have a step back. When the confrontation is there, or when there is a certain abuse, majority of the population tend to develop selfishness. It's a consequence of assistance. Selfishness is not it's not like narcissism. Narcissism is 2-3% of the population, but there is more and more narcissists. But there is a fine line between selfishness and narcissism. It's just about yourself, and because of that, some people absolutely are not in this good attitude to when they behave with the other, so they could be rude and all that. So when you're exposed to this kind of situation that sadly are too common nowadays, we evaluate more than 60 to 70% of people more in a selfishness attitude, more than in a good variance. So that leads to have to use the nonviolent communication. So it's helped to put boundaries, and every time there is conflict, instead of trying to defend yourself or accuse someone, you just talk about you. First, you talk about the fact, what's happening. Second, you talk about the emotion that impacts you. Third, you propose something to make it better. And fourth, you propose to the other if they have something better than your proposal, and you try to bargain. You can do this operation anytime you need. It's very square, it's very reassuring, and it's helped the other to see that you never try to criticize them, but you just talk about yourself, your emotion, and that's why you propose something for the good of the two person or of a group. So that's a kind of thing that's helped to manage the management of the stress. In the management of the stress, of course, when you're pregnant, it's so important to learn to talk to your baby. We call that the protective shield of the mother. And that part is so important because you can help your baby to feel safe. Everything which is alive understand the intention. That is a big knowledge to have. So each time, by your mind, by your words, by your hands, you talk to your baby to explain there is a difficult situation, mommy is at stress, but please don't help mommy. Mommy is not in danger. Mommy is not at threat to death. That is very important. Children react to that. They amplify your emotion and try to answer by producing certain hormones that are damageable for themselves and for the pregnancy. So to have the reflex of being protective and to explain what's happening in the womb, help the baby to say, oh, okay, it's not, mommy is not in danger. I can let just pass like the rain and the storm and not helping mom for that. So that's a very important exercise and attitude and practice to have for your baby. So for the management of stress, there is that aspect which is so important. Another effect, a third element in epigenetics, is the movement. Movement is very important. We talked before about walking, about breathing. So that's just to underline, I put it in the first element, but in fact it's the second element of epigenetics. So walking every day, at least 20 minutes per day, ideally an hour or two, even if it's in couple time. But walking is fantastic. Nothing in your hands, to have a kind of elliptic movement with your hands free. And that is the best thing you can offer to your pregnancy and to your prenate. 4 elements is to nurture your self-achievement. So it's a complex element because there is a lot of possibility on that. We could say achieve your ideals, your goals. So it could go with having fun, because humans are communicative people and we like to have fun. And it could be to nurture your high ideals, values, things, the self-development of yourself. Each time you take time for this moment, you increase your pregnancy. You make your prenate more happy because you're happy. So you produce endorphins. It's time you play, you sing, you look at beautiful things, you nurture your mind, your spirit, your soul with wonderful things. You have a moment of awe, and it could be through lecture, it could be through movies. Watch out, because we tend to sit too much in front of movie. So just be in nature, watching these kind of things, you see, that are so beautiful. That will put us in the awe moments, and that's part of these 4 elements of epigenetics that are going to shape the DNA of our baby, that will express the best part of the DNA of the baby. So that part is probably the more nice to do, and for that you have to use what I call the dating. You have to date your baby. But if we take the pregnancy of the father has to date his wife or his partner. And in the pregnancy of the father, there is 2 things to manage. First, to be protective from the family, from the environments, and to use this protective shield by managing safe space for you beloved, so she can be at peace. She feels like a nest, just to maintain the spirit of the nest. Not to be rude, nothing like that, but just to feel, to create an atmosphere of the nest. The second activity for the pregnancy of the father is really to connect. Connecting is the most important for mammals, and we are mammals. And as humans, we are communicative mammals, like not other mammals. So touching, massaging with no string attached, massaging the feet, the legs, the hands, the back, the head, all these parts that make are so good. Every day massaging you beloved, walking together, hand in hands, talking about a beautiful subject, organizing outing to go to see the river, the trees, to go with the dogs outside. These kind of things are super important. And as men, we tend to be doer, to put more intention into the money or the house or preparing things. The most important at that moment is connecting with the mother, helping her to feel good, just to feel good. So simple. To prepare meals, or to not miss the meal with her. So this kind of connecting moments, cultivating what we call the honeymoon effect, this moment where we renew our, like if you see the other for the first time. So just kind of sparkling in the eyes to be with the other is the most important thing, create magics. For the mother, dating the baby 1 time, 2 time, 10 time, 50 time a day. It's the dating, it's a moment, could be 3 seconds, I love you baby, your hands on the womb. It could be look at this tree, look at this mountain, look at these birds. It could be singing for the baby, it could meditating, just breathing, putting the light in your body, throwing this light into your baby, making like a shower of light, melting in the sun of your hands, of your heart. Imagine your baby is floating in the sun of your love, which is brilliant, which is warm, which is vivid and vibrant. The image of the sun is a wonderful image, like that you can put all the time in your mind. It's one of the most efficient picture that we can meditate on to increase your own health and the health and the happiness of your baby. And any other, the colors, you can bath your baby with colors, listen music, beautiful music, harmonious music that make you feel elevated. All these good, good stuff. This is so simple, in fact, prenatal education, and all that increase your hormones, your endorphins, the hormone of happiness, serotonin, oxytocin, all these good hormones that will increase the resilience of your baby. So your baby will later on as an adult will be twice more resilient in complicated situations, tend to react more with peace, with harmony than with fight and defensive. So that's worth it. That's worth really these moments to pay, have a good 9 months of attention. Of course, the best is to prepare much before conception to develop this quality. This everything we talk about right now is to prepare to conceive. So when you arrive there, you're ready, because of course you have physical adaptation during the pregnancy, and you're more sensitive. So if you already have prepared yourself for all this kind of thing, it's so natural after that during the pregnancy, and you can cope much better with so many things that can happen with your peers, with your parents, and at work, everywhere, and in your couple. And the last one is about communication. So the efficiency of your social network. It's a very scientific words, but just to go with, it's just a continuation, if you want, of the fourth level, sorry, which is having good moments, the dating moments. But at that level is having time with your friends, having time with your parents, having time with your going to see concerts, dance, to just nurture what's human, the best what human can give to other humans. This is about communication. It's not just be with friends, it's all the culture to be connected to what the human give to the other human when they give their best. When you see dancer doing amazing things, or circus, or there is so many spring and source of receiving that, and of course to expressing. So you can be in a choir, you can dance yourself, soft dancing, gentle dancing, like more folkloric dance, stuff like that are easy to do, and gracious, everything that make you feel that you give a part of yourself. You want to enchant the other, and you want to enchant your baby in the womb already. So you prepare yourself like that to have the 5 elements of epigenetics that will give the best of your children, that will make going out of the genetic of your children the best of it. So knowing that we have this, it's more than a duty, it's a call. Having a children is one of the highest achievements that we can have in life, when we think that we are not doing the children for ourselves, but we carry a soul in this world to make the world we wish to see, a world of peace, of harmony, a world who is vibrant, and that's worth to live in, and get out of all these war zone and conflictual things, and to be so greedy and so negative, when this is not the destiny of human souls. We all are looking of thriving, and this is in the power of parents to offer this element to the children, so they don't have to be so harsh in their life, to understand that love, happiness and peace is in themselves. They have nothing to do. They have just to apply these simple elements and and have a very balanced life and be able to rebound to any difficulties, to understand that life is designed to be happy and beautiful. And it's when we constantly don't pay attention to these so little things, the good, the attention, the patience, certain fundamental qualities, our needs that we need to communicate, we need to enjoy, we need to be enchanted. This is so simple things. And if we put the first intention on that, which is a true richness, instead to always be on the money and on the, the famous love of power instead of power of love, and that we just reverse our mentality on that, we are more than prepared for the best prenatal education, for the best pregnancy, and of course for the best birth, because the birth will be the result of all that. At birth, there is few elements to prepare yourself that are quite important. At the moment of birth, so many memories, transgenerational memories, story of allowing the mother to be a mother, to dilate it, to let open the passage, to contract peacefully, to be able to face certain fears of dying, fears of many stories that has happened in previous generation that has been not so peaceful when you think about and you look about the history beside us, and we come all from this history. So there is many things that you can prepare yourself by a certain making the peace with your parents, with your grandparents, knowing a bit the story of the family, and paying strong attention to be in peace with the mother of your life, your mother, the mother of your beloved husband or partner, all the women around you. That femininity is so important to be at peace with. And meantime, to be at peace with your father and the male energy, because if you need help, rescue, hospital, to be not in confrontation with that, to accept it, to accept this male energy that tend to intervene to help in case. But more you're at peace with feminine energy, more the delivery will be natural, the more natural possible. So it's all a balance to be prepared for these elements, and I wish you the best for that. Have a great day.